welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Chad from the red half of Sheffield. How are you, mate?
Not bad. How are you this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, we're recording this one a little bit earlier, but we're recording it straight after the Brentford game. So obviously, I'm really happy, buzzing. But yeah, so we'll get stuck into it then. We'll find out about what's going on at Sheffield then. So, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
About as good as we had planned it. I think we have how many games have we played? 16 games. So we're about at the halfway point, and God, I cannot wait for those last 16 games to get out of this godforsaken league.
Yeah, so that doesn't sound like it's going too good at all then. So from afar, you'd got sort of like financial problems last season, and getting promoted to the Premier League was sort of like the saving grace to sort of solve that. Heckingbottom got you promoted. You stuck with him for around 14, 15 games and then replaced him with Wilder. So, as a fan, do you feel like the fans' expectations changed because they were in the league, or was the football really bad under Heckingbottom?
The easiest way for me to for Villa fans watching this to describe what we have witnessed in the last, I don't know. We could even dial it back to when Wilder got the sack in that COVID season. We were playing terrible. We were never gonna. We were okay. We caught lightning in the bottom the first year, finished ninth. Okay, then COVID hits, and then it all falls apart. We get relegated. We bring in Big Slav to try and get us promoted out of the championship at the first time of asking. That lasted 11 games. We were terrible, didn't score any goals. Brought Heckingbottom, who took us into the championship after Wilder left. Heckingbottom gets us within a few penalty kicks against Forest of getting to the playoff final that first season. Then we go again and absolutely, everybody knows about Burnley. They barnstormed the league. At one point last season, we had a 13-point gap over second place. And so, it started, February, March time, you knew we were going to get promoted automatically. So we get automatically promoted. But January of last year or of last season, we go into a transfer embargo because at the time, unpaid player wages had popped up on players we had bought, like Sander Berg and other players like that. Maybe a little bit of a fee for Rhian Brewster didn't get finalized. So we were under an embargo for the whole of January. So we didn't bring anybody in. And then we get promoted. The summer comes along, and you're just kind of like, hello, Sheffield United. Are we backroom staff? Are we going to bring anybody in? And so June goes through. Nobody comes in. July, sprinkling of players we've never heard of. Just absolutely, you read into any of the players we bring in, they're horrible. And you're like, well, this is going to go swimmingly. And apparently Heckingbottom had his say in who he wanted to bring in. We brought back James McAtee. You got Gus Hamer from Coventry City. Those are two, and we even brought in Archer from Villa. Those are three good players. But we also brought in Vinny Souza, Enes Slimani, players that are just absolutely terrible. Benai Traore, who's never even sniffed a game in England. Then you want to start him, you want to lead the line to start the season. And it was doomed from beginning. And I knew I had no hope we were going to ever get off the foot of the table. And we've moved up to, we've been as high as 18th. Whoop-de-doo. We've never been out of the relegation zone. But it's one of those, if Heckingbottom got the alleged number ones or his best players that he wanted, God, it says something about how bad he knows, like how bad he is as a recruiter. And then it just kind of, we had a draw against Everton. I think we're still playing the Tottenham game. Oh, Tottenham scored again. Because they added like 30 added minutes until Tottenham scored to win that one. Man City ripped our hearts out with about 88 minutes. So did Forest. Got stuffed 8-0 by Newcastle, 5-0 by Arsenal. Just hammerings. Lost 5-0 to Burnley, and that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Heckingbottom got sacked. But what I don't understand is I'm not the most positive United fan. I'm right. I see it as both ways. I'm more of a realist in saying coming into this league, we needed to get promoted because if we didn't get promoted last season, we would probably be bottom half of the championship. We'd probably be getting ready to get relegated with our crosstown rivals Wednesday because we wouldn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And so going into this season, it was like, okay, how many games are they going to give Heckingbottom before he goes? And he's almost like a dead man walking. And then, okay, we make it 14 games in the season. We got killed by Bournemouth, got hammered by Burnley, who's 19th. And then they sack him, and they're like, oh, well, so who are they going to bring in? And for 3 weeks, it had been the rumor, Wilder's coming back. Wilder's coming back. Oh, great. Here's Wilder coming back. So then they sack Heckingbottom, bring Wilder back, and we get the new manager bounce. But because we're a minnow in this league, we're gonna get all the calls are gonna go against us. You're already playing with one hand tied behind your back because if I'm honest, we can't afford to have Liverpool lose to Sheffield United. You can't have Manchester City lose to Sheffield United. You can't have Tottenham lose to Sheffield United. Come on, can you imagine how bad of a look that looks in Europe? Like, oh my god, these top teams are losing to a team that's we can't even. Most people just call us Sheffield. So while they're coming in, yeah, it was good for a couple games. The shines wore off. We're probably gonna be relegated by, I don't know, the middle of February. I mean, you already look at the bottom three teams. There's like a 5-point gap, and it's growing. It's like we take basically how it boils down is we take the money and you're going to run down in the championship and be more competitive down there. That's a long-winded answer to your question, but
it's great to get it's good to get a feel of what is actually going on then. So, as you know, it's only been a couple of games with Wilder. So, have you seen a change in the way that you play? Have you seen what are you trying to do? You know, if when you sit down and watch Sheffield United, you know, is there a style of play there?
There is. Wilder loves to play the 3-5-2, and honestly, we changed when we were getting hammered by Newcastle and Arsenal and the likes. We changed to a back four, but since Wilder's come back in, we've changed back to a 3-5-2. That's the only system the players we have now have played for the better part of. I haven't known a United change in like almost 10 years playing 3-5-2. So when we go to a back four, we look out of sorts. We don't know what we're doing. The defense is like comical at some points when you play a back four. So against you guys, we'll play a 3-5-2, but the new manager bounce thing, I don't believe in it. He played Liverpool to start his tenure back, and it's like we're always going to lose that. Then we go and beat Brentford, but that Brentford team was not good on their day. I think they had 1 or 2 shots on target. They've got an injury list probably about as long as ours. And then yesterday we go to Chelsea, and they didn't even get out of maybe second gear, and it was 2-0. And, I mean, yeah, it was 0-0 at halftime, but 2 easy goals in the second half. They probably could have had 4 or 5.
Yeah. So how have you made, of Cameron Archer? Has he done well, or he scored? Has he scored 2 goals? He scored against Everton, and did he score against Wolves?
Yeah, he's honestly, the jury's still out on Archer because he doesn't get enough service because we can't work the ball through the midfield. So when he plays up there, he's just standing there. He's being more of a defender than he is a striker. And his goal against Everton, I'm sure you saw it where it slammed off the post and then hit Pickford in the back and went in. But it was a great goal. I mean, he's played well at times. He's just, I mean, if I rated him, I'd give him like a 5 or 6 out of 10. I mean, he's not going to get any goals in this side that can't. We don't hold the ball up enough. We do not hold the ball. We give it away. You're going to have probably 89 to 95% of the ball, and it's going to be in our end 99% of the time. We're going to have one sniff, and that might be just clearing it out. So, I mean, you can't rate Archer any higher than a 5 or 6. Yeah, he's had a couple of goals for us, but none of our strikers have done anything. You know, we've had all this promise, and we have the likes of Archer and Ollie McBurney, and even I don't even know what you call Willis Sewell. Yeah, he's a striker, but he hasn't had a sniff either. I mean, Rian Brewster, he'll probably be gone for 2 years now because he just pulled a hamstring. So when his contract's done, thank God he's gone. But it's just Archer just hasn't done anything for us because this team is so bad. And it's not anything on him. When he gets the ball, he looks lively, but he just never gets the ball.
Yeah, it's must be frustrating as a fan to watch then. So I don't want to rub it in too much, but Aston Villa going for 16 home Premier League wins in a row on Friday. How are you feeling about it? Do you feel like you can do anything at Villa Park?
Nah, if we have, because I'm gonna put some money on the amount of shots on target United have, and I might take the under if it's 3. I'm a betting man, and I don't think we'll have more than 3 shots. We only had 1 on target against Chelsea, so we might not have any against you guys. Maybe 1 or 2 attacks in your half that peter out before it gets to the box. But no, I mean, you guys are going to run. I mean, the game will be over before, I don't know, halftime. I mean, probably a half an hour in, the game will be over.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, to be fair, because as a fan watching your team, and even sort of when you get promoted, it's like I want to see us have a go. I want to see us sort of, put something on the big teams. But I've got to admit, I'm with you when I watch you. I'm just like I struggle to see where you're going and what you're trying to do, and I think that's it's a big problem, really. So, so thank you for coming on our channel, mate. I'll put your name to your channel in the description and tag it in the title as well. So, cheers for coming on, mate.
Cheers. Hopefully you guys don't beat us so bad we sack Wilder, but I don't think that'll happen.